talking about personal branding, and I think he'll give himself a little intro because you could probably do it better than I can.
Actually, that's part of what I'm here going to do, talk about today, is the intro.
Yes.
But I want to tell you guys a little something. I started, and first of all, thank you so much for having me out. I really, really appreciate the opportunity to speak to the group and share some of my insight into personal branding. I've been a 20-year PR pro, and I'll tell you a little bit about that and give you some of my background as we go on too. But I just wanted to start out with something a little different. I've been working on this for a week and kind of putting some notes together and doing some research and figuring out some good things to say. But the first thing that happened that I want to talk about is I got a call yesterday from my parents at home, and my Nana is 90 years old, and unfortunately she's not well, and it looks like this might be the end. And so I just wanted to kind of pay a little tribute to my Nana, but also kind of turn that into a little bit about personal branding too. Because my Nana was an interesting woman. And long story short, my Nana was she was the greatest woman I knew. We always knew my Nana was tough as nails. This woman was just super tough. She never took anything from anybody. You could always count on her. Like when we were little kids, we just looked up to her. She was protecting us from the world. We'd go into New York City for the day, and it would be tremendous with the type of activities that she would take us to do, and up the World Trade Centers and up the buildings and on the subways, and Nana, nothing could stop her. My Nana was an 8th grade teacher at a public school, and she was a science teacher, and she kind of had that same reputation as a teacher too. She was tough as nails. So, her students always thought that. So, cut to a couple years later, and I go to college, and I'm at Towson State University, which is in Baltimore. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but I'm at Towson State University in Baltimore. And my first day of school there, and my sister actually was going too. My sister makes a friend, and her friend says to her, hey, your last name is Hecht? I had a science teacher named Mrs. Hecht. And boy, that woman was the toughest woman I ever knew. And it was just funny to hear someone that we'd never met before, my sister and I had never met before, telling the story about our grandmother that she knew, and she had the same experience with our grandmother as a teacher that we kind of had with her as a grandma. So just wanted to kind of frame it a little bit and talk about that, because at the end of the day, my Nana didn't even realize it, but she had a personal brand. And that personal brand was toughness. And whether it was with her grandchildren or their own children, or whether that was with the students that she taught at school on a daily basis, she had that reputation and she lived it every day. So Nana, I just want to call it out and thank you for everything and move on from there. So let me give you a little bit of background on me and tell you why I'm here, and we're going to talk a little bit about personal branding, but it's going to play into this a little bit. I grew up in Virginia, and from the time I was really young, I was kind of an extrovert. I remember they used to give us different kinds of grades in elementary school. They'd give you an O for outstanding, an S for satisfactory, or a U for unsatisfactory. And I was a good student, don't get me wrong, I got all O's and S's, except for one category. And that was the fact that I was now they call it ADD, but at that time, basically they didn't know. So they said, Jeffrey doesn't pay as attention in class as he should, as close attention in class as he should. So that's something we need to work on. But again, that's part of my personal brand that was forming from the time I was really young, 6, 7, 8 years old. It carries on through high school. I was very social, I was very extroverted, always talking to people, always being in the middle of the crowd and things like that. Got to college, I got away from that a little bit, but as I kind of developed through my career, I realized my career for me is going to be public relations, because it's going to give me a chance to really take that extrovert side of me and put it to use in a career. So it's been really exciting to take that, run with it, have a career that really suits me as that extroverted personality that I've got, and be able to share with everybody some of what I've learned. So graduate college, a couple different careers that go on from there. I do public relations for a chain of chiropractor clinics. I work for a staffing agency.